Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another What's Up Wednesday. This is episode 141, weeks consecutively bringing you content to help you be a better RVer in your camper van primarily, whether you're no time still researching, part-time taking cool trips of days, weeks, or months, or even full-time traveler like myself. See, a lot of folks are going to say hello to a lot of you tonight. My name is Scott. Thanks again for watching What's Up Wednesday on the live or on the replay. We do this every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central, and it's just a delight to have you in here. Let me kind of walk through the show for you tonight. And this is what we're going to talk about is the Bourbon Festival. Just came out of Kentucky. I'm now in Tennessee. It's been a very long day, very long drive. But I want to recap this festival. And we're going to kind of plant a flag in this event for next year. So I'm going to talk about tickets, where I stayed, where to park, the tasting and the buying, and the festival for next year. So you can kind of learn from my experiences if you haven't been there, but always kind of have this on your bucket list. We're going to talk about that tonight. Libation Live is a bottle I picked up last October in St. Martin. This is a bourbon whiskey out of Kentucky. It's Blue Run. It's a high rye. It's $100 a bottle. I'm almost out. So this is a really weird shaped bottle. So I'm kind of looking to get rid of this thing because it's got a really wide shoulder and a really skinny bottom, and it just wreaks havoc in my collection in the van. This day in history, it's kind of about sports tonight. Kind of excited to share that with you. And our song of the week is by Tyler Childers, or is it Childers? I'm guessing it's Childers. And of course, it's about your questions. So if you can help us out with the question format, that's 3 stars, 3 question marks, and then your question, that will really help me find it quickly. We're going to say hi to the regulars here. We always like to know where you're watching. Oh, here's some question topics in case you need any. Let's know where you're watching from. I see a lot of folks in here, and we are going to say hi to a lot of you tonight. So I'm really excited about that. Where am I coming at you from? And by the way, if it's a new flag, I'm going to zoom in here for you, that you don't see on the map of your country, maybe you're watching What's Up Wednesday from a country you're visiting, traveling in, or you're a native there, or we just love to keep adding flags to the world map. This truly is an international sensation. Iceland was our most recent discovery. Sorry, I was distracted by a question there. So let me roll back here. Here we go. Where am I coming at you from? Oh, I'm hoping the bugs aren't bad tonight. I'm outside, clearly. So I'm coming at you from Jonesboro, Tennessee. I'm at a KOA, Campgrounds of America. They're actually going to be a guest on the show in a few, I think early November. Really excited. I've been street camping and harvest hosting and street camping, and I'm just ready to sit tight and not do anything. Thank you for the comfort of a KOA. This is kind of what the situation looks like. We've even got the camp cam. Let me show you this. Hey everybody, what's up? This is one of my favorite KOAs, and it's reasonably priced too. Let's go back to here. This is my neighbor right over there, and it's super cool little vintage trailer. Nobody's in it. It's pretty quiet here tonight, which is great. And I'm actually running off their Wi-Fi, so hopefully the Wi-Fi gods will be with us tonight, because running off campground Wi-Fi is always a hit or miss situation. So hopefully we're hitting so far. So where is this located? Jonesboro is just kind of a little above us. I'm headed to Johnson City on Friday for some Volta duties, doing some Volta training with a dealer there. But I've been to this KOA many times. It's just really a great family-run operation. It's perfect RVing weather, high 70s, cools down to the mid-50s at night. No AC needed. The bugs are not bad, actually. And here's gas price in the area, about $3.5. Actually filled up for $3.36 today. Was pretty excited about that. And Jonesboro real estate is kind of all over the board. $500,000 could probably get you something cute, and $1 million-ish is probably something that's been restored. But Jonesboro, Tennessee, if you're not familiar with it, is Tennessee's oldest town. It's pretty cool. I've been there many times, and I think it's just one of the greatest things about this area. Let's see, a couple more things to share with you here. This is my September route plan. I'd like to share this excuse me, with you. So across the line, now we're in Tennessee and headed to Chattanooga for the Adventure Van Expo, the first weekend in October, I think that is. What's up, Wednesday? We started this last week. We're going to forego a lot of the announcements because these things are going to be on my website, including the announcement we're going to have on here later tonight. So if you go to my website, gosmallivelarge.com, you can see the events that are coming up. You can click to add to your calendar, which is kind of cool. Then just do the email address, and there's something else I can't remember. But you don't have to sign up for anything. It's free just to help you out. That didn't turn out super well. So I'm really excited that next week we're going to be doing a roundtable from an Embassy RV owner campout. We're going to really kind of roll the dice on this. We're hoping the Wi-Fi there works. I'm not sure where I'm going to be. Actually, next week, yeah, I do. I know where my Wi-Fi will be great, but not sure about there. So that's what we're planning for next week. If you're an Embassy RV owner or want to be, or you want to check out what owners have to say about their camper vans in general and specific to Embassy, very different kind of rig, then you'll not want to miss the show next week on the 27th, I think it is. Yeah, at 6 p.m. Central. And speaking of that, I was overnighting in a Embassy RV a few weeks ago. That video, I think, drops on Sunday. So you'll be able to see my overnight experience in Embassy RV. It was kind of an adventure. No black tank on an Embassy RV, you know. So, and these are some of the roundups and, again, campouts we've got coming up. So, again, check out my website, Go Small, Live Large, and then add them to your calendar. We are still looking for volunteers. If any of this is of interest to you, please use the email address right here. We're looking to kind of really grow the channel. We need about 14,000 subscribers to hit 50,000. I would love to have 50,000 subscribers by the Florida RV Super Show in Tampa, mid-January in 2024. So if any of this is of interest to you, you've got skills in this, several of you have reached out. We'll be working on that next week to get those folks ingratiated. All right, let's say hi to a bunch of folks. This is one of my favorite parts of the show, and then we're going to tell you a little bit about the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, because it was such a hoot. 3 days of tasting bourbon. My liver. It's like, hello. Okay, so Kathy Supp, Ms. Supp, how are you? Good to see you, ma'am. Suggesting not drink lemonade. You're right. Water, which I have been hydrating. That's the key to drinking bourbon on warm summer days, fall days. Is got my little chair table sitting right here. So thank you, Ms. Supp. We love Kathy. There's Bill and Joe. Good to see you. Yeah, it's less than 90 degrees in Florida. Pretty cool. New York. Ron's in the howdy, Ron. Good to see you. Here's Eric. He's going to be trading in his 2020 Travado KL for a Winnebago Adventure Van 4x4. That's kind of a big one, right? Congratulations. So you'll have to keep us posted what your experience is like. It's a very different van. It's very modular. So I'm really excited for you. You're really, that's a big shift. Here's Christy in the house. She's the one that bought the whiskey wagon, and she's a lovely gal, and we're excited to see her in her wagon. How many bottles did you purchase on the trail? I'm guessing 5. You're a little low, Peggy. I'm going to show you that as part of the situation here on our topic tonight, the recap of the Bourbon Festival. So hang tight. We got John in the house. Rob, Durango, Colorado. Love Colorado. Probably my favorite state right now. So it's probably Colorado, Kentucky, Tennessee, almost a bold toss. And then it's parts of Arizona, parts of New Mexico, Texas, always a favorite, but it's so hot there. Anyway, Colorado's top of my list right now. So there we go. Rob's in the house. Rob's going to be our guest in a few weeks. He's a retired paramedic, and he is eager to share his story. He's got a Travado 59GL just like me. And he's a great guy, and he's in Minneapolis. Nice. That's a great town. Let's see. Tin Can Carl is in the Grand Sand Dunes National Park. Not sure where that is, but it sounds pretty cool. Here's Simi G's in the house. $6.25 for gasoline. Holy cow! And I'm griping about $3.50. Good to see you, sir. Gary in Orland Park. Good to see you. There's Marcia. I'm not sure how to say that. It's finally under 90 degrees. Dew point under 80. That's great. Great to have you here. MAF from Narragansett, Rhode Island. Not sure where that is. 380. Good to have you here. Appreciate that. Dave Green, Chicago. Hi-yo. David Green, great to see you. Let's see. We've got Dan from Chattanooga. Going to be there actually next week. And then for the Adventure Van Expo. I'm super excited. It's going to be great. Alfred's in the house. Alfred's a great guy, right? 2 thumbs up for Alfred. Expensive. Yes, sir. And Tone Schweitzer in my hometown. Which hometown are you referring to, sir? I move around a lot. I've just made it. Roads of Life in the house. That means we're going to get some serious questions tonight. Hot Huntsville, Texas. Huntsville, Texas. Didn't know there was a Huntsville, Texas. Let's see. Carol's in the house. Great to see you. Denham. Great to see you. Excuse me. Christy. When your video drop out, your night in my van. That's so funny. Wasn't your van then? Or was it technically? I think it drops on Sunday. I'm editing it Sunday, so watch for that. It was great. Here's Van Life with Steve. Good to see you, sir. He was a recent guest. Did a bazillion. Only one national park in the last week. Shenandoah. You are slowing down, sir. He did a bunch of state national parks in like 60 days, so it's pretty crazy. I've got Rebecca in the house. And Deborah saying she just pulled in from my first ever van meetup in Missouri. Congratulations. Hopefully that went well for you. That's always fun. And a huge shout out to Tony and his bride for showing up at the distillery, Heaven Hill in Bardstown. We had a great time. Lots of great chats. We even sampled some of their product. Carol's got a question here. Using the format, 3 stars, 3 question marks. Do you have to be a member to stay at KOAs, or can anyone reserve? Yeah, that's a great question. And I'm not sure where this started there. It's not a membership program. They have a rewards program. I've got over 300,000 points on KOA, but you don't, there's no membership. This is not like Thousand Trails. You access all the campgrounds in America. I use them because they're consistent. They have an app that's really easy. And they're kind of along the places I tend to go. And for like, after running rogue for a week, I just need to sit still for 2 days and get my laundry done. And no, they just pay the price that they're charging at the time. Nashville, you guys got 2 KOAs, Class B RV newbie from Nashville. There's 2 KOAs in Nashville. The bigger one's the better one, by the way. It's pricey, but you're really close to all the action. Jana Roger, thank you. No worries on being late. Sure. So is that a red train car behind you? A cabin. It is. It's a kind of an artificial train car that they set up to make it look like one. It's actually 2 of their cabins that you can stay in. So that's one great thing about KOAs. They have these cabins. This one has some really cool places like that. That is, you can stay. So if you're looking for a kind of an inexpensive hotel room and you want a little bit of a camping style, that's the way to go. Good job, Sherry. Let's see, just a few more, and then we'll get into the meat of the matter. Let me just pull this off screen like that. Yes, and let's just say, Sherry's kind of on the ground source for helping us with the live from the Embassy Owner camp out next Wednesday. So we'll be testing Wi-Fi and have several options. We'll get something to work for sure. I'm counting on it because you're amazing. Let's see. Beyond the Firm, Frisco T in the house. Frisco T has a YouTube channel. She runs around solo female in a Beyond. Beyond, we got some kind of exciting things to announce over the coming months with Coachman RV. I'm pretty excited. Badlands, you are going to have a blast. You're at the KOA in Newton, Iowa. That's pretty funny. So excited to see you experience the Badlands. Here's the YouTube user we've met. This is his artificial handle. He likes to be incognito. Good to see you. And let's see. So here is 4gvn.adv. Well, hello, new subscriber. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Purchased a Solo 59PX 2 weeks ago. Love the channel. Congratulations to you. We love people buying bands getting a decision made and getting their journey on. It's so incredibly important. Congratulations. That is, and thanks for being a subscriber. Appreciate that. You're marching us toward that 14,000. We need to get to 50,000. In fact, I just got a note from YouTube. We just crossed 7 million views of all the content I've put up on YouTube over the last almost 6 years. And the other big news is, we'll maybe talk about this next week, is Sherry's video, her van tour that we did last year, just crossed 1 million views of that video. Sherry, would you please come to all my van tours with me? And I promise to interrupt you all the time, because apparently that's what's driving that, and some prayers, I'm sure, is driving that forward. Yeah, 1 million. So great. 1 million views of one video. Let's see, Roads of Life. A few more questions here. This, again, thanks for using the format, and then we'll get into the content. What's your get? Excuse me. That's never good. Let's see. What is your gas mileage, low to high? Ours can be as high as 15, as low as 11. If we're using a heat, which uses fuel from the gas, or just sitting in dry. So I'm not super scientist on this, but generally I get about 12 in the city. It's been very consistent. And 15 to 18 on the highway. 18 if it's got a tailwind and it's flat like Iowa. But if it's downshifting to fifth gear all the time, it's coming in around 15, even just slightly lower. But she's a heavy girl. My van, Miss Lily, 8,600 pounds, nearly 4 tons, hauling around. So when I give gas mileage to people who are kind of van curious, they're like, that's the same as my truck. I'm like, yeah, and I can make dinner, go to bed, go potty in my van. About the same gas mileage. We're on to Fisk, Jonesboro. It's just up the street. Oh, Rhonda, there you are. You're probably watching from over there. That's so great. Howdy, ma'am. She checked me in and everything. She's great. She's a GM here at this location. Let's see, Bardstown, Kentucky. It's such a great town. I could spend a whole week there. I don't know why I do this to myself. Just go too fast. I could literally spend. Hi, Rhonda. There's so many distilleries nearby. There's a barrel burning thing. There's so much history in that town. They actually had a festival going over the weekend, which was like, if you got tired of the Bourbon Festival, they had a festival downtown Saturday. There's so many. I discovered a new bourbon bar there. It's just really great. Trying to get too close to the Jack's in the house. Good to see you, sir. See you in Chattanooga. Yes, please. You can help me with my, the story there. Let's see. Yeah, Rhonda from KOA saying anyone can reserve, which is great. I'm really excited to have him on the show. I think it's early November. We really like to bring brands on that enhance the travel experience, and that was a number of years in the making. All these are right. All right, let's do this. I think I'm at the bottom. Yep. So let's Roads of Life. What is your favorite temperature when traveling? And a follow-up question: when are you going ice fishing with Terry? Apparently February is the big time to be in the worst time to be in Elkhart, because it's the coldest. He'll probably get me there. I don't know. But my van won't be there. That's the problem, because my van could not handle. My van and my body is really a 3-season deal. My favorite temperature is what we're going through right now. Fall is probably my favorite time of year. The trees are just starting to turn color here a little bit. And if it's mid-70s in the day and mid-50s at night, that is absolutely perfect temperature for me. The van can be in the sun without AC, but at night it cools down, and I just don't need AC. So fall's my favorite time of year, and those are the temps. Hope that helps. Good questions. Ice fishing with Terry. Beyond the Fern, Crowds 1 million views. It's a great band. It is. She did a great job. And it is kind of a mystery how that has done so well. Whatever it was, we'll take all of it. So it's pretty amazing. Yeah, Lyle's got a great point here. This KOA is actually on a river. This is actually on the edge of a national forest, Cherokee National Forest. So there's a river behind me. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not. I've stayed down there before, but the Wi-Fi is better up here. So I stayed up here. I got this cool view. This is a new. I actually stayed in this site 2 years ago when I stayed here, but this whole apparatus around me, we'll show you that real quick. This is all new. And I just love that they use transparent fiberglass. I'm going to be here all day editing videos tomorrow. So it's just so great. Okay, let's get into, oh, come on, there we go. So Carol's got a question here. So since I'm finally doing this thing, instead of talking about it for over a year, is that like getting into a van? Any place I can find a list of any meetups? That would be my website, Go Small, Live Large. We got quite a few scheduled over the next few months. We're going to announce a big thing tonight. And should I join your Patreon group? I would love you to. It's $20 a month. Stay as long as you want, or skip out as soon as you want. What's great is we're doing a Patreon, a True Believers Zoom, I think this weekend, right? On Saturday. That's where a lot of y'all can meet yourselves. We can have up to 50 people in a single Zoom session, and y'all get to meet each other, exchange numbers, and you go say, I'll meet you here, and we'll go do something together. You don't need me at the center of all this stuff. That's for sure. So I'd love to have you as a Patreon account. We have 54, I think, now. Or is it 40? I think it's 40. But that's a slow grow, right? It's really for the people that just want to peek behind the scenes and do these Zoom calls. We had a Patreon-only roundup in Lexington, Kentucky yesterday. Whatever day it was, they all kind of blend together. And that we love for you. But whatever it makes sense to you, I post a lot of pictures there too. Great question. You guys are coming in fast and furious on the question. This is great. I love it. So Giles, Scott, I saw that you locked your bike. I suggest you lock your wheel and frame together. I did, sir. So thank you for that tip. Canada. I would love to get to Canada, but I have too many bottles of bourbon in my van. They would never let me in, I'm pretty sure. So not only have I locked my bike frame to the rack, I've locked my tire to the carrier. So everything is locked now. Taking all of your advice. So thank you for that. Matt in the house. You are generous, sir. This is the jingle jar. When we get a super chat tip like this, we jingle it. And if you're doing the drinking game, that's where with the jingle jar, you have to have a drink. Thank you, Roads of Life, for that. Picking up your van on the 30th. Congrats, Carol. Let us know what you chose. You probably told us this before, but I have short-term memory for sure. All right, let's get into the meat of the matter tonight. I'm going to share this with you. I'm ready for a libation. And just want to share what an amazing time this was. So I discovered bourbon as part of van life, like country music, my whole cowboy thing, now hiking and biking thing. And I wanted to go, just never did it this year, planned a flag, and I went. So again, what I want to cover with you is how I bought tickets, where did I stay, where did I park, the tasting and the buying, and then the Bourbon Festival for next year. What was so cool about it, I'll zoom in here for you, is that all these brands were present in a single location over 3 days. It opened at about noon and closed at 6, I want to say, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It was so much fun. Many of these I was familiar with, but more of them I was not. And I was really interested in the craft folks. So here's how the tickets rolls out. So let me zoom in here for you. I'll tell you what I bought. They're kind of expensive-ish. I bought the weekend bourbon taster pass. It was $175 for the 3 days. Now, what you got for that is as much bourbon as you could drink. All the pours from all the vendors cost you $0. The only time you spent some money is when you bought a bottle. Many of them had special bottles only available at the festival. So that's always cool. It's kind of like when you go to the distillery. So there's some really pretty special stuff. Now, I saw some of the other things going around, these really high price package. I probably wouldn't do that again. I wouldn't do that. You got some special, places to sit and things like that. But I think $175 is plenty. And what you'll want to do is get on their mailing list, because they gave an early bird start to those on their mailing list. So it's KY Bourbon Festival. I haven't seen that they've turned that on yet. It'll probably be a couple months before that goes, but that's what I would recommend for you, is getting that weekender pass. Now you can just do the single day thing, right? For $100, but for $75 more, you can come back 2 more days. It's pretty awesome. This is what the layout looked like. It's just north of downtown Bardstown. It's right next to like the city hall. Again, if you go to their website, kybourbonfestival.com, you can see this. You can see the main gate to the right was the craft distillers. I'll show you a picture in a second. Then to the left is the great lawn of the big brands. And they had some pretty elaborate booths. They had live music at both. And I spent Friday in the craft section. And then I stayed on Saturday in the big distillers. We all know, Angel's Envy and Wild Turkey, and it was a lot. I didn't even go on Sunday. I was kind of bourboned out, to be honest, and I was afraid I was going to buy more, and I still don't have room in the van for it. So let me tell you about staying. This is I was the last person to get a campsite at my old Kentucky home state park. They have a campground, kind of small. So I really lucked out when I bought the tickets. I checked in and or made a reservation. So this is kind of where I would recommend you stay. This is what my actual campsite was. It's campsite 31. It was on an incline that even I found intolerable, and I'm pretty tolerant on the inclines. And kind of to add insult to injury, I'm surrounded by all these RVs. I don't actually mind RV parks. I just don't want to look at them. There was no way not to look at an RV out any side of my van window. So what I did is I went and talked to the staff, and I said, "Hey, you guys have a what do they call rustic area, where it's for tents?" And I'm like, "Can I move over there? I've already paid for this. I'll take my sign with me. I don't need any hookups. Thank you. Perfect weather." So my van's kind of hard to see there in the brush, but I much prefer this than where I was. And that worked out really well. So for the 3 nights I was there, I stayed the first night in the campsite I was assigned to, and then I moved here, and it was really, really lovely the second 2 nights. Let's talk about parking. This is one half of their downtown Bardstown map. You can see the big P I drew on the map there. So I stayed on the other side of Main Street, which is North 3rd Street, probably 3 blocks in, on a residential street under a huge, beautiful tree keeping me out of the sun. And then I walked probably, I'm going to guess, 8 blocks to the festival site, because not surprising, the closer I got to the festival site, the more crammed it was, the more cars, the more congestion. And I didn't want to be any part of that, right? So I'd recommend this, because on the other side of the Foster Avenue, which is kind of the main drag going the other way, it's really residential, really close together residential. So that's why I chose to park in that area. I didn't stay to street camp. I just went to park for the hours. I was going to ride my bike. I really intended to ride my bike, but I drove the road from the campground on another route that actually passes the Heaven Hill Distillery, and it's a really narrow road, no shoulder, and traffic is going 50 in a 35, and it's super dangerous. So that's why I drove the van. I was probably wondering about that. All right, what's next? Taste and buy. This is kind of the fun part. Is this all coming in? Okay, it's getting dark out here. I didn't think it was going to get this dark. Taste and buy. All right, so let's talk about that. So it was all fenced off. It was really well organized. You bought a little band. They actually mail it to you, but I'm really not at home base. So I got another band, and you wear it. You can't take it off. It's like Bluetooth or something. So they scan it in, and you can't take it off, because you can't take it off and put it back on. It's self-destructing. So I cut mine off on Sunday, and let me zoom in here for you. I'll just give you a quick run around for some of these. We'll answer more questions. So again, here's the map. You come in the main gate. You scan yourself in, and you, as part of the scan in, you step through, and then you get your little pour glass that was branded. You only get one, by the way. So you scan in for that, and a green light, you get a little glass, and off you go. Now I came back the next day, and I didn't bring my glass, and I scanned in through the gate, and then I went to go to get another glass, right? And it gave me the big red, and I'm like, I didn't know I had to bring my glass back. Somebody should have said something, otherwise I would have. So let me zoom in here for you. There we go. So this is the craft distillers row. This one I was really interested in. And it's just kind of a sea of people and tents. The lines really weren't too bad. I went about 3 o'clock on Saturday and 3 o'clock on Friday. The thing closed at 6. 3 hours is plenty. Bourbon tasting, let me tell you. I didn't find any food. There's a lot of food in downtown, but the lines are pretty short. They move really fast, and after you've had a couple of tastes, everybody's friendly, frank, right? So it was just a lot of fun. Just a lot of brands I never knew about, and that to me was really what was exciting about it. But it was just very kind of transactional. They like to talk about their product a lot. I did buy some of these on site. I kind of scouted on Friday and then bought on Saturday. Actually, I bought 2 bottles on Friday. This stuff is so good. It's so weird. It's so great. It's just so great. And then I went back on, again, Saturday, and then this was the big folks. So these folks had pretty elaborate booths. I recently discovered wild turkey, so I'm really excited. This was the bullet display. These people actually had an RV all decked out. It was pretty cool. You can see there's the front of it. Big bar. What a great idea. In case this YouTube thing don't work out, I'm getting a bourbon lounge to go. It was so much fun. And Green River, I tasted that prior. There you can see the little tasting glass. And it was so much fun. As the afternoon wore on, everybody got more and more friendly, and it was great. But what I missed was you. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. And let me show you a couple things that were kind of funny to me. So for those that were buying a lot of bourbon but didn't want to carry it, you could actually rent a locker for the weekend. And there was 3 rows of these. And you can see here, it was a great idea. I'm not sure what the rent was, but that was, so if you want to fill your locker, then empty it only once over the weekend, this is how you did it. It was pretty amazing. Oh, $15 a day. There it is right there. Subject to availability, no overnight storage. So I guess you got to clean it out every day. Okay, fine. That's kind of interesting. They had these water. This thing was the size of a hot tub, and lots of water. So hydration was super key. And I'm happy to say, or I'm embarrassed to say, I don't know, is that this was what I added to my collection between Louisville. I visited the Rabbit Hole Distillery and Nulu, which is my favorite neighborhood in Louisville. There's a great bourbon shop there, and what I bought at the festival. So I added quite a few. Yeah, I keep rearranging things. I'm making them fit, but it's pretty insane. That's why I'm really excited for us to have our camp out, so I get some of this stuff out of my van. On Saturday, like I mentioned, there was a festival going on downtown, so I went and kind of strolled around there. This was a bourbon lounge I had not been before, the Volstead. You actually enter through the alley. I'm like, what? And they had 600 bottles of bourbon in this place. And I discovered one I'd never heard before. I always ask the bartender, what's your favorite? And they pull out something that I've never heard before. I took a picture of it. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's right there if you want to zoom in. It was really good. I'd pour that. So here's kind of the deal for next year, and I'm really excited about this. And I think what would be more fun is to have some of you join me. So this is what we're going to do next year. We're going to plant our flag to join the Bourbon Festival 2024 in September. So here are the dates. It's September 13 to 15. That's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday again. I've already made my camp reservation. You can see the big arrow there. All of these were available in blue. So I'm going. Now that campsite I pull in forward, and I'm looking at greenery, trees, and a hill. It's amazing. So These are all good. So those, let me zoom in here so you can see this. So what I would recommend you do, if you want to join me for the Bourbon Festival 2024, is run to, after the show's over, to the My Old Kentucky Home State Park reservation site. There you can see it at the top of the picture and the URL badge. And those 4 spots below me would be perfect. Because I'm staying in that one where the red arrow is. And the other 2 across from me wouldn't be bad. They have a dump station, electric water at the site. There's a shower house, or you can choose to do the rustic camping, which is just tent site. So join me for this. This is going to be on my website probably tomorrow, but I'm planting my flag. We're going back, and I'm going to slow down, and we're going to hang out in Bardstown or whatever, right? We're doing the Bourbon Festival because I need some friends at the Bourbon Festival, besides the folks that were getting pretty loaded. I maintained my composure mostly. It was pretty, we had a great time. Only thing missing was you. So next year we're doing it together. Cool. All right, let's first, so questions. That's my recap. Loved it, enjoyed it. And we're going to do it again next year. And you're coming along. All right, let's look for a couple of these questions. Let's see, we got quite a few of these going on here. Let's see, this Matt. Carol saying I'm worth $20 a month. Thank you, appreciate that. Is there a link on your webpage? Yeah, just go to my website, gosmalllivelarge.com. There's a Patreon thing, kind of scroll down, click off, and it takes you right to it. And join us on Saturday. We're doing a Zoom. We got a lot of folks. It's just great. So there's a prepay. I appreciate that. Thank you, Carol. Thank you for the tip. I appreciate that. Oh, it's getting dark out here. That's okay. YouTube user, Bourbon Heaven for you. Yeah, and it just hurt my heart because I was racing to get to Lexington because I have a Volta duty. I had to race here, so I kept racing by all the distilleries again. It just drives me crazy. That's why I have a sign in my van that says "Slow the hell down," that I never read carefully. It just says "Slow down." Thank you, YouTube user, for your tip. Appreciate that. That's how we roll there. All right, I think I got those cleaned up. Wants to know, where is your next hike? Let me see if I can turn this screen up. There, that actually helped the lighting on me. That's good. I am going to hike around Jonesboro tomorrow. And then I have to be in Johnson City on Friday. So probably this weekend, I'm going to go to Knoxville. So we'll get some hiking in the next couple of days. Pass some trailheads, and I use the app. Was it Trail Guide? That really has been quite nice. So I'd love to take you along on a hike. That would be great. We're going to do some roundups as hikes. We're going to park at the trailhead, and then we're going to get our hike on, because I just think it's a lot of fun. More fun with people, by the way. If Lily got broken down somewhere, big repair needs, how do you handle the repairs? Live, cook, and van, live at a hotel, eat at restaurants. Do you have insurance that would cover these costs? Roads of life. Yes, I've been broken down twice this year. One from a serpentine belt breaking, and one from somebody rear-ended my van. Both of those happened in Texas. Texas has been good to me. So what I would do is go find the Ram dealer in that case, and they would let's see if I can back off that a little bit. And I would stay in a hotel while the van is in the shop. I move some stuff, including bourbon, out of the van into into the hotel. It's pretty easy. I mean, I travel super light. I have Progressive Insurance. Highly recommend them. They covered all the expenses for the car crash. They covered the everything down to my Uber Lyft ride things. They were amazing. In fact, they actually called me a couple weeks ago, and she said, you haven't cashed your check for what was the Uber Lyft reimbursement. Can we send you another check? I'm like, okay, why not? And then she called me back, said, hey, let's just do a direct deposit. Let me send you the link. I'm like, even better. So can you imagine that? Just like, what a great RV insurance. Literally, it's like $1,300 a year to live in my van full time. And when I got the Serpentine belt, the insurance covered, no charge to me, that flatbed tow truck. It was incredible. Get Progressive. Ooh, maybe you did say this. A range line. Congratulations with the pop top. I know there's issues, but the floor plan is too perfect for what I need. Gonna roll with it. Congratulations. There's no van that's perfect in all ways. Really excited for you. Actually, was in a range line at an Airstream dealer in Illinois recently. Just reminded me how nice that floor plan is. Beyond the Fern, we plan to go to the Tampa show. I'm going to be spending January, February roaming Florida, going Tampa RV, Vantopia. The Beyond meeting can't beat summer weather, and that's the best time to be in Florida, frankly, is January and February. We're going to the Tampa show. We're going to do a roundup at the Winnebago Travado booth again. It's going to be that Wednesday, the day that the show opens. I'm doing the industry day the day before, and then I'm probably getting out of there because they've kind of made the show has made the overnight parking thing really not fun anymore. It's ridiculously expensive, and if you can do it at all. And by the way, the Lazy Days Resort is closed right now for rehab, so it's going to be an interesting show. So I'm going just for a couple of days on the front end, and then probably skedaddling. Work with Volta to try and get some things set up there. What we might do is there's quite a few places around the Tampa area where we can do some roundups and some fun. One, maybe I'm a little, what's the right word? Kind of been there, done that with the Super Show. It just gets more and more busy as the week wears on, and I just want to get a couple videos and then do our meetup, see the Winnebago team, the Volta team's coming, and then get out of there. So thank you for doing that. And you're going to be in, I might have a special announcement. There's a lot of announcements coming. Neil and Britt in the house. Good to see you. Let me take this off here. What time is it? 44 after. Okay, so let's do Libation Live. What do you say? And we'll keep answering some. Keep seeing. I was going to show you. So this was one of the cool things. So this is Castle and Key, one of my very first distilleries I ever visited, and it's just the coolest story. A great brand. And this is what's kind of cool. I had the distiller sign it. Can you see that? That's upside down. So he signed it. And this was batch number 3 of their small batch. It's so good. Tasted it there. Bought a bottle. They have batch 2 and batch 3 flavor profiles. This one sounded more interesting to me. And in the Nulu, there's a great, I don't know the name of it. I should. I apologize to him. Bourbon store, bourbon and wine, actually. This is my first, I can't believe, my first bottled in bond bottle. If you know the story behind bottled in bond, it's pretty cool. Tasted this at his store and bought it. I'm a real believer in tasting and then buying if you like it, but I'm literally out of room. It's so embarrassing. Okay, so here's what we're doing tonight. And again, the reason I do Libation Live is not so much to watch me drink on the YouTube, but it's just to share the stories. To me, van life is all about discovery of whatever it is. They may not even know what you haven't discovered yet. That's how I discovered bourbon. So this is Kentucky. This is a high rye. I actually found this in St. Martin. We were on a cruise in December of last year. It's really spicy. It's 110 proof. Some like this. I'm going to show you their website here. I don't know if you can see this bottle. It's really weird. It's got a really wide shoulder and a really skinny bottom. So it just creates all this chaos in my cabinet. What's not to like about a little chaos in your cabinet? Okay, here we go. Ready? Ooh. That rye, it's spicy. Okay, let me show you their website quick. This is, I'll zoom in here for you. So it's bluerunspirits.com. I would not actually buy this rye again because it's really high rye. It's really spicy, but they got a number of them. I did not see them at the Bourbon Festival. I don't think. This was $100 for the bottle. But if you're into really nice stuff, check out their website, and it's pretty fun stuff. Wow, I'm like I don't know, a lawn ornament illuminated or something. Can you hear all the crickets and everything? And it's good. Ooh, spicy. All right, let's keep rolling here. We'll look at some. How's the van camp looking? Let's take a look at that. Ooh, look at how cool that is, right? If I got in here early, I just rolled in here literally an hour before showtime. Well, hour and a half before showtime, so I'm going to finish show prep. Otherwise, I would have had my fire can out. This is kind of cool. I can't wait to do some camping together. It's just so great. Okay, let's maybe let's leave this on and answer some questions. What do you say? Dave wants to know, is Travado Dave here? I'm not sure who that is. Roads of Life, always full of questions. What do you recommend for safety before you start a trip, such as reviewing van before you go? Well, I don't really do trips. I just stay in motion, but I do all of that. So like when I am leaving a campsite, I make sure I have my departure checklist. I walk around the van, make sure there's nothing, any obstacles. Yeah, tires, do a walk around, fill your tank, empty, make sure tanks are empty. I mean, all that is good to do. And this one's really bright. Is that better? Yeah, it's a little better. Maybe we'll do like this. For safety, I don't really think about safety. I'm thinking about the van. I'm thinking make sure the cabin is ready for departure. But I just, safety is not first and foremost on my mind hardly ever, because I've had so few problems in 4.5 years full-time on the road. It just hasn't been a problem. So that will probably change when I have a problem. But how do you find places to sleep when you're traveling and you have no reservations? I call it urban camping, sir. That is discreet parking. We've done some videos. We've done some workshops on that. We'll do more. Cracker Barrels would be great if there's one in your area. Dirt is an app I would use. DYRT. KOA. There's usually a KOA. I can't think that there hasn't rarely been a time, certainly on weekdays, that a KOA doesn't have a spot available. And a lot of us have done crazy things, overnighting in a rest stop for a few hours, rolling at 11 and roll out at 4, something like that. I don't know. Let's see. We've got this day in history coming up in just a minute, and we've got our song of the week. But Warren wants to know, in a previous video on floor plan changes to the 2020, I called you show how headroom was, and the last review of GL, it appeared the headroom had not an issue. Oh, it's still an issue. I was just playing it down. I was just giving a tour, but I cannot stand. I'm 5'10", and not tilt my head to pee. So I've got a video coming out probably the next few weeks that 4 fixes Winnebago needs to make on that existing current floor plan. That is one of them. There's no reason they should have done what they did, in my humble opinion. Like you saw in the video, I'd probably buy it. I just would, remove the teak mat thing, and that would give me an inch or two, which might just do the trick. But then you're kind of standing on the shower pan all the time. I like the look. I like the foot feel. But it still has that situation for sure. So if you're on the taller side and you don't want to tilt your head when you are doing your bathroom standing up, that could be an issue. Give Winnebago the feedback. I mean, if you go right to their website, there's a big old red button on every model page, feedback, and that is something they need to remedy. It was a problem. I'm going to be on a tangent. A problem they didn't really have, because most people don't shower in their vans. So they raised the floor 3 or 4 inches for a gravity drain when it was a filter problem, not a pumping problem. Anyway, still a great floor plan. I'd buy it. I'd probably buy it again. I go look for a National Park edition first, though. Or almost now, do I have a firearm while I'm traveling? Answer is no. I am kind of shopping for a very specific gun. If I find it, I'll purchase it. But I don't carry it for safety. I don't live in paranoia of Roads of Life. This is for you, sir. Have you ever had to change plans last minute because too many people went, or some problematic issues, and so how did you resolve it? I made a last minute change today. I was going to Harvest Host tonight, didn't hear back from them. I'm finding this actually to be kind of a trend lately where you make a reservation request a day or two in advance and you get nothing. So I was going to stay actually in London, Kentucky. It's about halfway to where I am, and stay the night Harvest Hosting again. But didn't hear from them, and I kind of wanted to get here so I could just sit. I've been street camping and Harvest Hosting for really since the Bourbon Festival, which I was dry camping there too. So I just wanted to sit and just be still, do some laundry. So I shifted, came to the KOA here in Jonesboro for tonight, tomorrow night. I have no idea where I'm going to stay when I get to Knoxville, Tennessee. So we'll have to run by that. But yeah, last minute changes happens often. I'm just going to go with the flow. How are we doing on time? Let's see. Great questions tonight, as always. Yes, Frisco TU would love it. Please join me next year. It's really a cool experience, and the whole town is cool. And if you're a bourbon fan, I'm going to make it like a bourbon week. Wow, this bug is on me. Because there's so many distilleries around there. And the bourbon barrel burning thing. There's so much history in that town. We're going to have a lot of fun. Yeah, she might. She did. She drank a whole bottle of Blanton's. Jeez. So we kind of address this. I gather from the last video, floor differences are changing in a more positive direction. If I got the van run over by a train and I was not in it, I would go look for a used National Park Edition first because of the old floor plan. Could I make do with the existing floor plan? Probably. It's got Volt in it. It's got 4 distinct living areas. It's the only van floor plan that nobody copies. I don't understand why. Some are kind of tiptoeing there. The range line is kind of like that. The panorama is kind of like that. But, I could probably figure out how to make a permanent table. I spent a lot of time in that floor plan at the dealer. And I love the dark wood and the white cabinet. So beautiful. So there's, when you see the video coming out, the 4 changes, I think Winnebago needs to address, you'll understand it a little better. Thank you. Say she got Evan Williams cherry and green apple. Went into First Distillery for my first bourbon tasting. Good job. Yes, a good question here. Is it conceivable that Storyteller over land with a Lavio toilet be feasible and attractive to you? Yes. In fact, we have a van tour coming out by Rover Vans. He's actually put in a Lavio toilet in a beautiful floor plan. Wait till you see it. We got so many videos. That's why I need to sit and just edit tomorrow. Get a few of these done. Now, having been and used a Lavio toilet at Embassy in my overnight experience, it's a really cool way to go, actually. So Storyteller would be interesting, for sure. Oh, really? This is cool. So the video, the range line, which I did last year at the Hershey show, helped you make that decision. Good job. It's a great van, right? Okay, let's shift gears and talk about this day in history. We always like to kind of give this as, if you go to Wikipedia's website, there's this day in history. That's where I get this stuff from. And I just think it's kind of fun to share. A lot of sports on this one. I'm not a huge sports fan, but still, 41 years ago today, 1982, I was a junior in high school. NFL season, American football players and the NFL began a 57-day strike. You football fans will probably remember that. I'm like, what? 50 years ago, 1973, Billie Jean King beats Bobby Riggs in the Battle of the Sexes tennis match at the Houston Astrodome. That Astrodome is still around, right? 50 years old? Holy cow. Way to go, Billie Jean King. She is still tromping around, right? Battle of the Sexes. They still do that anymore? I thought this was kind of interesting. 504 years ago, Ferdinand Magellan, we know him from history class, and his 270 sailors got on their expedition, which ultimately culminates in the first circumnavigation of the globe. So that's what's been happening this day over the many decades and hundreds of years. If you didn't know that, now you're just a little bit smarter than you were a minute ago. Let's do our song of the week. And thumb up. Here we go. Music, you ready? Let me zoom in here for you. Love to do the song of the week. So this is Whitehouse Road by Tyler Childers. Disregard all the information under Tyler Childers because none of that applies to this song. That was for Margaritaville guy, Jimmy Buffett last week. Apologize, I didn't notice that. So if you haven't listened to this song, he makes some really good songs. Tyler Childers or Childers. Whitehouse Road was playing in a coffee shop I was in Lexington yesterday, and so that's why that makes the list today. Let's look for a few more questions. And man, we had a big crowd here tonight. Really appreciate you all being here. It's so great. If you haven't given us a thumb up, please do that. Love to see that happen. Let's see. Where are we here? So Sharon is sharing that back home in Buford, Georgia, Progressive Insurance came through for us too when a rock show. There we go. We're back. Good thing we're at the top of the hour. Let's see. A campsite is so nice. Yeah, let's see it again. It's really cool. And there's really very few bugs. I put mosquito spray on. But with all this light on, I'm just shocked there's moths attacking me. Moths and yeah, I don't understand those bugs at all. Let's see, where else are we going right here? Okay, looking for our last few questions, and I'm super excited to get to Knoxville. Never been there, actually. Never been there, and I'm super pumped. And then I'm zooming to Chattanooga because I'm going to fly back to Florida from Chattanooga to help Kyle with some Airbnb issues. So it's going to be a really crazy week next year. Let's see. Yeah, I think it is interesting too. I was talking about the Travado 59G floor plan, which is one I have. So, all right, folks, let's do that. Let's call it a wrap for tonight. And thank you again for watching. Thanks for all the super chats. Like I said, the bugs aren't here. Here they come. It's just a delight to have you here for the real time and for watching the replay as well. And it's thank you, Alfred. Contribute to the Bourbon Fund. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And this is good. It mellowed a little bit on my tongue now, but it is really high rye. I wouldn't buy that one again, but maybe we'll try one of the other bottles down the road. So thank you, Alfred. Appreciate it. All right, everybody. Journey on. Peace be with you. And we'll see you next week. 2 videos dropping this weekend, Friday and Sunday. So watch for those. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.